Hola, bom dia. Carl Munson here of expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal show. How are you? I know it says Happy New Year in the comment there on the screen. This being the quarta-feira, dia 11 de novembro. It is, of course, Wednesday, the 11th of November here on the Good Morning Portugal show. And there it is, November, and I'm saying Happy New Year. But I'm putting a question mark there. Last night, we were up with the grandmother of this community, who stays up really late for us, it has to be said, on a Tuesday evening. And her homework for us, we had a very interesting conversation looking at the beyond polarity in the pandemic politics. We wondered if we could have a conversation about the pandemic without everybody falling out. And I think we did it. We had a really good range of opinion. We had Helen calling in from Thailand on WhatsApp. We had people in Ireland, in America. It was great. And I think only one person got the hump with me. It was nearly mutual, I have to say. I think she was trying to liken me to a crazed Trump fan. And that was her idea of a put down. No, for me, no disrespect to Trump fans, Biden fans. Vote for whoever you want to vote for, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think it's really right to look down on people and sneer at people for their political beliefs. But I think that's the only bit of tension that I felt last night from the discussion. And generally speaking, it was a really good-natured and very intelligent debate that we had. It wasn't a debate. Let me say that it was a discussion, a conversation, and I think that's what we need at the moment. Conversations. We need to be talking to each other. Grandad Owen is here. Look, lovely lady. Thank you for having me, bon dia. Owen was with us last night as well on the discussion, and we had every kind of, well, not every kind, but I think we were pretty comprehensive in our coverage from every angle of the COVID phenomenon, the pandemic, and we'll say more about that from the Portugal resident. An excellent article, another good one from Natasha Don this morning. So we've got quite a few things to factor in this morning, and obviously you and where you are. It'll be lovely to hear from you. Who are you? Where are you this morning? Whether you're from the Expats Portugal community or and you're listening on the Facebook page or on YouTube, just let me know. We also want to talk about Mia Eshmiraj's guide to, she's our language lady, and this is how you can connect with her. If you use this free code, we do get a little bit of something from this as affiliates to her wonderful European Portuguese language program, but it is free to you to join. And we'll be telling you more about her and her love of certainly 5 Portuguese pastries this morning. We're going to be talking about somebody's personal view of, like a turnaround view of Portuguese bread and the importance of bread in this culture. A lovely little blog that I found, as well as that. So COVID update, Mia Eshmiraj's guide to Portuguese pastries, somebody's rekindled love affair with bread. And what else did I want to share with you? There was something else I wanted. Oh, yeah, I want your visions for 2020. Yes, okay. I nearly talked myself out of what I was doing there by getting distracted again. So on the screen, Happy New Year. The phrase 2020 vision obviously has been completely rethought and undermined this year. So let's move that forward a year, shall we? Should we talk about 2021 vision? That was Donna Jacqueline's homework that she gave out at the end. She said to me, Carl, can I give out homework? I said, you are the expat elder here. You are the grandmother of this community. You can do what you want. So she did, and she gave everybody homework because part of what people were talking about last night is it's very important to stay positive and have a vision. And I think there's a notable quote, is there not, that without a vision, the people perish. And we certainly see some signs of that, don't we? That if we focus too much on what we can't do and what we don't like and all the rest of that sort of dark and negative stuff, we need a bit of balance to that. So what better than to figure out what you might want to be doing in 2021? I imagine a few people here in this community will have Portugal factored into their plans for 2021. So do please share that with us. What do you want to do? Let's lighten the mood. Let's give your immune system a boost with positivity and some of those positive are they hormones? Do let me know how you're feeling. No, actually, if I ask you how you're feeling about 2021, that might go down a dark rabbit hole again. Tell me what you'd love to see in 2021 for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for humanity. Okay, so your 2021 vision. We might have to write off 2020 vision, mightn't we, this year? Okay, so quick look at the weather, of course, before we do anything else. It is 12 degrees in the capital, and there's a high of 20. A nice temperature range there this morning. Autumn in Lisbon. And a bit cloudy for today, tomorrow, and Friday, but a sunny day coming. And actually, the rain that we thought was coming, I think that's evaporated or something, disappeared from the forecast anyway. So 20 to look forward to. Cloudy day in Lisbon, no rain. Lisbon, done there. Porto. 18 degrees, the high today. Currently 11 and cloudy, and the rain pushed back to Sunday. So it's going to be cloudy for the rest of the week, but nice temperatures, mild weather nonetheless, and no rain until the weekend. Coimbra, 21 degrees will be the high today. Partly cloudy at 10 degrees currently in Coimbra. Beautiful Coimbra. Spent a lot of time there recently, actually, and it grows on me more and more. In Mortágua yesterday afternoon. That's a fabulous place as well. And my starter screen was dusk in Mortágua. Had a lovely wander about yesterday with the kids in Mortágua. Great place. I don't know if it is talked about a lot among expats and as a potential destination, but worth factoring in. So Coimbra weather, back to Coimbra, 10 degrees, partly cloudy, and that's the shape of things to come for the rest of the week in many ways. Partly cloudy all week long, and again, the rain seems to have disappeared from the picture, which is no bad thing for those of us who want to feel the sun on our bald heads. Faro, 15 degrees currently and clear, rising to 20. And that, again, the shape of things to come for the rest of the week. Cloudy week and some sun promised. Let's not call it a promise, let's call it a forecast for next week. Sunnier days returning in Faro next week, but some very nice temperatures down there today and for the rest of the week. There's your weather. Okay, let's do the COVID update. And I think this is a very good piece from Natasha Don in the Portugal Resident. Actually, before we go there, we need to say hello to a few people, don't we? How are you all doing? Oh, Rachel, we missed you last night. Rachel's here this morning. Owen is saying, lovely lady, thank you for having me. Bon dia, talking about Donna Jacqueline. She is pretty awesome, isn't she? Has to be said. Paul Williams, hola, bon dia. Another stunning morning here. Looking forward to Jardinera de Vitella today. What is that? Is that food? Is that veal? I'm wondering what you're eating there, Paul. And Owen Lloyd Martin, drop the granddad. He's not ready for that full-on granddad. All right, sorry, Owen. Let's just call you Owen. You'll get used to it. I'll come back tomorrow. Okay, great. See you then. Bye. Bon dia from a sunny Concepcion. We made it. Well done, Gillian. It's so lovely to welcome people. That's wonderful when we hear of people and the realization of their plans to come to Portugal. That's fantastic. Well done, Gillian. And I don't know where Concepcion is, so do let me know where that is, and delighted for you that you've made it to Portugal in these rather challenging times and circumstances. So well done, Gillian, and anyone who's come with you. I missed last night, sorry. Got data refreshed today though, so we'll take a peek later. Oh, I see you're back on with your connection there, Will. Fantastic. It was a very good show, even if I say so myself. A lot of views of it and people from all over the world. And I thought what Helen had to say from Thailand was especially good. She couldn't join us on screen, but called us on the phone. It was fantastic. Rachel, yeah, we did miss you last night. Bon dia, I missed the late shows. I go to bed early. Okay, fair enough, Rachel. I think we covered some pretty awesome bases last night, and I think you might agree with some of the sentiments that were expressed last night. For me in 2021, to be the best granddad that I can be. There you go. That's the best one so far. Fantastic. Ty, if you haven't gone already, I'm sure you'll share that sentiment. Top grandparents, Ty and Joe, of course. Hola, bon dia, damp and miserable here today. That's in North Wales from Elsa Riley. Good morning to you, Elsa. Will, I'd like to get an electric bike. So visions for 2021, I'd like to get an electric bike and a solar panel type trailer and cycle the entire Portuguese coast doing renewable DIY projects. You must call in here and help me with my solar shower that we talked about a long time ago, Will. That's a lovely idea. Mark, hey, good morning to you, Mark. Very sunny in Tavira. Always good to get a first person weather report. That's lovely. 2021 dream plan for me: move to and be happily ensconced. What a beautiful word that is, in a new home in Portugal. Well, we're all behind you with that one, Doreen. Thank you for letting us know. 2021, I'm a simple soul and just want to see more of Portugal, eat and drink in the sun and try to smile more. We're with you on that one as well. Yeah, seeing more of Portugal is a good plan, and there's so much to see. We've said this before, and I'll be talking to Maria Costa tonight, American, who has settled in Tamar, the Tamar area. She is one of our Ask Our Expats team, who you can talk to on if you can't get to the country, the Ask Our Expats team can do teleconference calls with you and film parts of Portugal, do house visits, all that sort of thing. Can work on your behalf. Maria is part of that team, and she joins me tonight to talk about her experiences of Portugal, which I think will be very entertaining tonight from 10 o'clock. So yeah, that's good, Paul. See more of Portugal, eat and drink in the sun, and try to smile more. Imagine that those all go together as you sat there eating and drinking in the sun. That will cause you to smile, I'm sure. Safira, good morning to you, Safira. Bon dia to you. Helen's here. She was up at 4 o'clock in the morning to join us. And she's up again. Well, she's still up. I'm hoping you've had some sort of siesta, Helen. Thank you, Carl. I'm still awake after you. What? You didn't have a rest? I'm still awake after your talk show. I'll get that StreamYard loaded. Yeah, I'm sorry you had a problem there, but we got you anyway, didn't we, on WhatsApp? And you came through loud and clear, and I think people were impressed largely with what you had to say. Paul Williams, Jardiniero de Vitella is a beef stew. Okay, maybe it was the mention of veal that had Ty leaving the show and coming back tomorrow. I don't know what he was talking about there, but Jardiniero de Vitella is a beef stew that Paul is looking forward to today. So there you go. Let's have a look then at this report from the Portugal resident, written by Natasha Dom. Second largest tally of recoveries in 24 hours as Portugal's COVID stats flag 62 new deaths, sadly. 62 new deaths, the majority age over 80. 3,021 new infections and 4,495 victims deemed to have recovered in the last 24 hours. Portugal's latest COVID statistics give some hope, as well as the habitual tragedy of lives cut short, of course. The hope is in the slow reduction over the last few days of new infections. Sunday saw 6,640, Monday 4,906, and today the tally is down to 3,021. Excellent. Yes, hospital admissions have increased, but again, by not quite so much as the previous couple of days. Numbers in ICUs are actually down. That's good news, because that's one of the pressure points, isn't it? And one of the concerns. The numbers are down in intensive care to 382, which suggests the worst case scenario predicted over the weekend may not transpire after all. Phew, that's good news. Explain reports the number of recoveries has skyrocketed over the last few days to over 100,000, while the number of active cases has reduced to 77,338. They drill into the area-specific numbers there. Deaths have kept the same tendency. Actually, let me share this with you on screen so you can get a relief from my boat race. And this is, the article, second largest tally. So you can see what I'm seeing now. There were no new deaths in the Algarve in the last 24 hours, but the tally here for deaths has now reached 31. Still talking about the Algarve after holding steady for weeks at under 20. The age group that is seeing the most increase in cases is currently of people aged 40 to 49. The age group seeing the most deaths remains people over 80. Now, this is what I really like about Natasha's coverage, a bit of a break from some of the more shrill voices reporting on the pandemic. And I think this is really good that she's done this. What today's figures have brought is a new level for Portugal's death toll. The country now has registered over 3,000 deaths since the start of the pandemic. Okay, so that's the bad news. However, she gives some context and perspective here, which I think is really important, is often overlooked. Shocking as this sounds, this is less so far than the total 2018-2019 flu epidemic. And that epidemic was considered soft in comparison to previous years. For example, referring to Publico, the flu season of 2017-2018 saw 4,467 deaths, and that of 2014-2015 witnessed nearly 6,000. It's worth remembering, too, she says, that these deaths were from a virus against which there was an unavailable vaccine. In other words, as bad as the situation seems in Portugal and elsewhere, what media reports tend to miss is data from previous years and past scourges involving other strains of less demonized viruses. There she goes, Natasha.don at algarveresident.com. Well done, well said, Natasha there. bringing, I think, some much needed context and perspective. Bummer, says Elsa. Have to go. Zoom meeting. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for popping in, Elsa. Have a good Zoom meeting. Well, has everyone got used to those now? Zoom meetings, whether it be for work or family or whatever. Yes, the age of Zoom, right? So, are we looking forward in 2021? If you keep your visions for 21 to coming in via the comments, that'd be great. It is Donna Jacqueline's homework. Okay, so do please do what she says. She'll be checking next Tuesday on our Portugal show, on the Portuguese Positive News show next Tuesday. Yes, exactly, Carl, says Helen. You saw what I saw, shocking, referring to flu epidemic. Yeah, these context is everything, is it not, in so many areas of our lives? Okay, I've got a lovely little thing to share with you now. And I do this at the risk of sharing my Facebook page with you and all sorts of funny stuff that gets sent to me. Let's see if this has worked out. And let me take away the rather confusing backdrop. So let me do that. Okay, yeah, this is really lovely. This is an English-speaking Portuguese, which is a personal blog. I'm sharing this because it was published publicly on the web. Okay, I'm not breaking anybody's confidence, and this may be a blog you would like to subscribe to, an English-speaking Portuguese. 2 loaves of bread. How wonderful to sit around a table and to share 2 loaves of bread. And there's a lovely picture of them there. Hey, looking good. Got some Marmite yesterday while I was in Mortagua. I need to have some toast with Marmite on, folks. Anyway, how wonderful to sit around a table and to share 2 loaves of bread. And as I look at these 2 freshly baked loaves, I think of how significant they are in describing the Portuguese way. The way of culture, family, the kitchen table and sharing, where bread is shared daily. I think back a few years back when I never touched bread. My being a health nut was convinced that bread was the greatest sin of all sins. I do get what she's saying there. And I do, I know people who think the same thing, but it's all a matter of balance, isn't it? And again, taking into account the contextual importance of bread here. She continues, yet here I sit today, devouring a slice of bread, falling in love with the friends surrounding me. I think of my village, Sardinia, and how even in times of hardship, her people make and share bread. I can't see from the picture, but I think this is our friend Laura. I've just put 2 and 2 together. As I look at the stone walls, I picture where the old kitchen was, the little table, the carpenter built, and the wood oven. It is Laura. And as the smell fills the air, this delightful smell of this glorious bread, I smile and laugh at how silly my life was previously, how selfish I was back then, tucked into my estate home, most days alone, shutting out the crime I knew that tried to climb those high walls. The security guarded day and nights I spent feeling smug with all I had achieved. And yet now I realized that I had achieved nothing but to imprison myself in isolation, selfishness, and greed. I understand now why I fell in love with Portugal. I fell in love with the Portuguese way. Look at that. Who wouldn't fall in love with those 2 loaves? Fabulous. That's really great. Thank you for that. I think it is Laura who we spoke to last Monday on one of our expats chats. As I said, having a expat chat tonight with Maria Costa. Looking forward to talking to her. Your visions for 2021, please keep those coming. And let's have a look. Rachel is saying, because it's a scamdemic to control and cull. Bit heavy, yes, she says, for this time of the morning. Reg Pello, bom dia a todas pessoas desde nossos aqui em Fátima. Reg is in Fatima by the sound of that. Belo começo para o dia armistício aqui nos arredores de Fátima. Reg, sadly, I don't understand. Oh, I see. Yes, 11:11. Helen saying, "Oh yes, Reggie, it's 11:11. I would love to go to." Oh, so the armistice. Got it now. Armisticio. Yes, of course. Remembering at 11 o'clock today, those who gave our lives, sacrificed their lives for us. And Helen saying, "Yes, I would love to go to Fatima." So I know in UK people being encouraged to stand on their doorstep, not make a racket, or in their window. And every time somebody suggests something, the regulations come forth, don't they? No, you can't do it like that. You've got to do it like this. But I think we're all grown up enough to be able to show our respects today, the 11th of the 11th at 11 o'clock, and maybe fall silent and be a bit more reflective at that time of day in remembrance and in gratitude. That we can do it in our own respectful and intelligent way, can't we? Hi from Atlanta, says Tina. We're so thrilled to have just closed on our new home in the Douro Valley. Oh, yes, very nice. Once visas are finalised, we'll start our Portugal dream, making 2021 something very much to look forward to. I'm loving the vibe. I'm loving the vibe this morning. Well done, Donna Jacqueline, for suggesting people. She's not just saying, well, you've written it down there, Tina, but she was saying, you've got to write it down. Write it down. To get the vision in your mind of 2021 and give yourself some positivity. And that's no better than that one there. A lovely future to look forward to in the Douro Valley. Beautiful, Tina. Thank you for sharing. Love that blog from Laura. The Portuguese bread is prized. Absolutely. Helen, remind me, what's your plan? Are you coming to Portugal soon? And might that be in 2021? Talking of expat chats, don't forget, Friday morning, we have the ambassador, UK ambassador, Chris Sainty, joining us with a message for British expats. So we'll have a chance to talk to Chris on Friday morning here on the Good Morning Portugal show, which is a bit of a coup for us. It's really marvellous, I think, to have the British ambassador joining us. Okay, let's go to Mia now. And if you're late in today and you're looking for a way to learn European Portuguese, let me share with you a code in the comments now. If you wouldn't mind using that, that'll be great. We work in conjunction, transparency here. We work in conjunction with Mia Eshmeresh, whose guide to Portuguese pastries I'm going to share with you now, including camel drool, would you believe? One of my favorite names for a Portuguese dessert for sure, camel drool. And it could only taste better than it sounds, right? So we'll have a quick look at that as well. But here's the link. It is free to join, and Expats Portugal do benefit financially from you subscribing if you trade up and buy one of her courses so that you're in the picture. There it is, an affiliate connection. But you may have seen her on the show. She is awesome, and she's so diligent and imaginative with how she and passionate actually about how she wants to share the European Portuguese language with you and have you learn in a fun way. And as we said before, and as I'm sure she would acknowledge, it's not the only way to learn. We all have to find our particular style, don't we? All have different learning styles. When I make the time and discipline myself, I like her style for sure, because she does it in as many ways as possible. I think recognizing the fact that people like to take in the information in different ways, and she makes it upbeat and entertaining, as she is going to do now for us with this look at the Portuguese pastries. So do please sign up, and you will get the chance to take advantage of her special offers as well. I missed out on telling you about some big discounts that she was offering. Halloween, unfortunately, didn't get my act together in time for that. But if you sign up there, you will get alerted to her special offers, and she will slowly but surely teach you how to speak Portuguese. So there you go, yummy traditional Portuguese desserts. Let's have a look at some of these. And she says in this post, and she's a prolific creator of content. YouTube, blogs like this, all sorts of stuff, podcast as well. In this post, I'm going to tell you about the best Portuguese dessert recipes and some stories related to them. I will also include some links with the Portuguese and English recipes so that you can go ahead and start baking them cakes. These desserts are really sweet, she says. This is very sweet of her to say so. If you have any disease that can be worsened by eating these, abstain from doing so. And even if you're healthy, don't eat these all the time, just moderately. I do wonder about that in Portugal. Pastelerias are everywhere, aren't they? And I guess back in the day, cakes were something that you might have eaten once a week. This is modern life, isn't it? A lot of modern life is we do more of what we like because we can. And I'm guessing that, just going back to meat eating for a minute, I don't think people ate meat every day. It was a celebratory feast thing, wasn't it? And now in the modern times, we just indulge ourselves constantly. And this too with sweets, maybe this isn't good news for the economy and the pastelerias, but perhaps, cakes were just eaten once or twice a week, and then they were special in that way, rather than now you just have a pastel de nata every time you can have a coffee, can't you? Especially when it's a deal, €1 for a coffee and a pastel de nata, or natas as they're known in Porto, as we're about to find out. So the health caveats are there, but again, I don't want to insult your intelligence. You're a grown up, you know what you're doing. If you want to stuff yourself with cakes and sugar, go ahead. It's your choice. The dangers of doing so are well documented, are they not? Now, if you've been to Portugal, she continues, you've probably already noticed that we love good food and that we have a lot of fantastic Portuguese recipes and amazing traditional Portuguese food. Main dishes and entrees are awesome enough, but our desserts seem to be some of the best you've tried as well. And now you want to be able to prepare them for your family and friends. So these are the top 5, according to her. Pastel de nata obviously has to be in there, doesn't it? Or simply natas in Porto, the cream pastry. And the great thing here is that she gives us the recipes. Who will be first to try this? Might this be part of some of your visions for 2021 to actually bake your own Portuguese pastries? How awesome is that? I'm not going to read through the whole article. You can sign up with her and find out for yourself and read through her funny story of when she lived in Holland and did a bake sale. Is that what you call them in America? A bake sale? And I think she baked 100 pastel de natas. Imagine she was probably had enough of pastel de natas thereafter for a little while. Pão de low bread. This is the second one. Really good. If you have different varieties of this dessert, you have to try the dry type without creamy egg sauce, which is really good. Eggs in there, 7 eggs in that recipe, as you might imagine. My hens are laying prolifically at the moment. The neighbors are happy. So I need to do this. And that, of course, is the backstory with so many Portuguese desserts, isn't it? Is the glut of egg white. Sorry, the egg yolks. The whites used for starching, and then a glut of yolks. 14 egg yolks in this one for the Pão de Ovar, a regional favorite. Then there's natas de so, the heavenly cream, the cream of the skies. This by far is one of her favorites. She says, when I go to a restaurant, which we used to do a lot before COVID-19, yeah, tell me about it, I would order this dessert many times. 6 eggs in that one and a pack of Maria biscuits. It's that one with the Maria biscuit base. Oh my goodness. It's eggs, cream, Maria biscuits, and sugar. I think you probably know that one. And this is the one I was talking about before. Baba de Camelo, camel's drool. Another very sweet dessert. Baba de Camelo is made of condensed milk and eggs, so that's going to be sweet as well. That's all there is in there: eggs and condensed milk. Pudding is the last of these. All right, I have to confess, she says, this is a dessert I do not like. However, she's included it for others, okay, because it's one of the most famous Portuguese desserts, and many of the Portuguese people and non-Portuguese people I know tend to like this dessert. Again, 6 eggs. A litre of milk, loads of sugar, and of course vanilla. And you've got to have your canela standing by, haven't you, for your Portuguese pastries and puddings. Pudim means pudding. It's just simply called pudding. Isn't that fantastic? And that's what it is, a pudding, okay? I know this doesn't say much about it, so you really have to try it out and taste it for yourself. However, it is also very simple to make, and if you like squishy kind of textures, you will definitely like this. My mouth's watering just reading that out, and her squishy textures. In conclusion, she says, Portugal has a lot of diverse and delicious food. Desserts are no exception. If you want to, diverse, of course, if you're not if you're not averse to eggs, and with these 5 delicious typical Portuguese desserts, make sure you check out the links above. So there you go. Sign up with Mia, and you'll be able to see those. Well, you'll be able to see those on our website anyway. You don't have to sign up for those. Fantastic. Thank you, Mia Ejmerej, who I'm hoping to have again on the show at some point. Wonderful, excellent. I'm sure that having planted that seed in my own mind, I'll be having a Portuguese pudding or pastry today. Stop it, I'm hungry now, says Deborah Davies. Good morning to you, Deborah. Talking about desserts and breads in Portugal, which are delicious, mind you, I was wondering about gluten-free and wheat-free options. Are there any special bakeries who cater for this in the capital? For sure, Helen. And what I'm noticing, it's a really good question, actually, Helen, is that the supermarkets are just catering more and more for people with special dietary needs. Obviously, the vegan explosion that we're experiencing the interest in vegan and vegetarianism. Last night we part of the reason for us going to Mortagra is it's a really excellent supermarket there that caters well for both some of those expat faves, like baked beans and Marmite and stuff, and ginger nuts. We got some ginger nuts last night. Can't believe I'm telling you that. But I'm noticing generally, and the supermarket we were in last night was no exception. There is this the whole thing of special dietary needs, bodybuilding, and vegetarian and veganism is really obvious now in the supermarkets across Portugal. So I think you'll be all right. The free from type foods are in abundance, and the shelves are getting bigger and bigger. The sections, Continent, are really good special dietary requirement shelf. So I think you're going to be all right with gluten-free and wheat-free options. And I think some flours are more savage than others, aren't they? And some baking processes are more savage than others to those with a gluten intolerance. So I think you're going to be fine. Is a simple answer to your question. We're hoping to get to Madeira. This is a 2021 vision by the end of the year, and plan to try a few. Oh, it's a 2020 vision. So get to Madeira before the end of the year and try a few desserts. Got to be done. Got to be done, John. Thank you for that comment. Oh, I do love cakes, says Claire, who was with us. When was that, Claire? The night before last for an expat chat. Wonderful to speak to you. That was a popular talk that we had there, judging by our YouTube channel. Do please subscribe to that if you're not already. Thank you, Claire. So my 2021 is peaceful, warm, and building new communities with unity through diversity. That's a pretty nice vision, that one there. Helen, thank you very much for that. Yes, I'm coming to Portugal. I just need to figure out where. I love the beach and warm weather, but not bushfires. So 2021 sometime. I think you're probably looking at the Silver Coast, I would think. I mean, are you saying warm weather rather than hot weather? Might be. Silver Coast is a good happy medium between the windy and colder Atlantic, serious Atlantic influence on the Costa Verde up in the north, and the Algarve, of course. So Silver Coast, I'm sure you're somebody who does a lot of research, Helen. I'm sure Portugal's no exception to that. So do let us know, and let us know how we can help, of course. We talk to as many people as we can about where they live in Portugal, just to furnish that picture. 1111 numbers are used in a strange way, says Rachel. Plot thickening there over in Castelo Branco. Congratulations, Tina. Yes, writing one's vision board is powerful. Yes, I think that's right. Committing it and again furnishing it. With pictures, with things torn out of magazines. I think that is powerful stuff, Helen. Well said. Good reminder. Love that blog from Laura. Okay, we did that one. Okay, so thanks. It was great to chat to you as always. Oh, thank you, Claire. Here's a great question. And Helen says yes, she has signed up with me, a learning language. Well done, Helen. I like your style. Do Portuguese do rice pudding? And I have to sort of throw that back at you. I think you know the answer there, Rachel. Do they do rice pudding? This might, I suppose, this could polarize the audience. Yes, it's arroz doce, isn't it? And I love it. It's cold. Now, if you're the sort of person who likes a rice pudding that's been baked in the oven for 3 days with a rich crust on it that you can actually chew on, the Portuguese rice pudding might not be for you. It's served cold in a little glass dish, usually very grandmotherly in presentation and taste and comfort and flavor. So yes, definitely the Portuguese do a rice pudding, arroz doce, and it is liberally has canela, cinnamon, liberally sprinkled on top of it. Mrs. Emma's made it, and of course, when you're cooking it, you can eat it warm, and then you can set some aside and set them cold in the fridge and eat it in the traditional Portuguese way. So absolutely, there is a Portuguese rice pudding. Thank you, Rachel, for reminding me of that. I'm really going to go out and get a Portuguese pud today. I did a vision board, and yes, in 12 months, it all came true. There you go, Claire, talking about the power of the vision board. And she's a pretty awesome manifester, it has to be said, is Claire. If you listen to the chat we had, it's a wonderful story, because I was with the whole journey to Portugal and our dreams. Sometimes things don't always turn out quite as we expected. Quite often the way. Take this year, for example, for humanity. And I was saying to her, okay, that's great, Claire. You know, you found a lovely house, you found a lovely area. It was a lovely process. You got lovely neighbours. You go out walking the dog, and you get given alcohol and chestnuts and stuff like that. Any downsides? It was like, hold on, and it was a real struggle, I think, for Claire to find some downsides. And obviously, you know, there were one or two setbacks along the way. And as I remember, if I remember rightly, the language barrier and the bureaucracy were the things that she did say were challenges. But she even had a very positive reframing on those. Get other people to do it. Get a translator, get a good lawyer, and it's all sorted. And it was for her and for Mark's, whose recipe book we're looking forward to as well. I don't know if Mark's going to put in some Portuguese recipes in there, a little homage to some of the Portuguese puddings. I certainly hope so. So there you go. Yeah, vision boards, everybody. And Donna Jacqueline's homework for us: write it down. Show up on Tuesday of next year. Next week. I'm looking at Happy New Year on my 2021 visioning there. So yeah, show up next week on the Portuguese Positive News Show, the Portugal show of an evening that we do from 10 o'clock, generally speaking. Tomorrow, of course, is an exception. We are doing our expatsportugal.com webinar called Portugal Calling, where we will be looking at the cost of living, often a subject of much interest for our transatlantic friends. So we will be doing a cost of living special. Sign up for that at expatsportugal.com. Let me just pop that on the screen. And of course, supporting us by becoming a premium member is great for us to keep our work going at expatsportugal.com, and it will give you VIP status at the webinars as well as a little bit of a bonus and a perk for you, plus a bunch of other discounts on professional services over there that you'll find in our directory at expatsportugal.com. Scrolling across the screen as we speak right now. And then after, of course, on a Thursday night, I hot-foot it from the webinar to have a drink with my Good Morning Portugal wine club, Wine Ninjas, my buddies there. And tomorrow, I'm trying to find the slide that I have for tomorrow's wine. Goodness, it's been buried in the pile of graphics. Oh, no, it hasn't. Here it is. Let me just share on the screen for you this wine that we're tasting tomorrow night. If you're not familiar with this is what we do on a Thursday evening at 9 o'clock. Me and the Wine Ninja team, we are traveling around a virtual journey around Portugal, tasting wine. And we are on our 20th wine tomorrow night. And if it will allow me to do this, I think it will. Bring this to your screen. It is a Dom Rafael Alentejo Red that we will be sampling tomorrow. Again, my mouth's watering. What am I like? There you go. That's tomorrow's selection. Wine number 20, the Dom Rafael DOC certified Alentejo Red. Join us from 9 o'clock for that. Oh, that was meant to be on your screen. Just looks like you've got a black screen there. Sorry if that's how it worked out for you. So it's a maybe for the Portuguese pudding in Mark's recipe book. She's keeping us waiting. So is Mark. But I think, well, hopefully we're having a premiere of the cookbook and talking about it on one of our shows for you. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you for all your contributions. Keep positive, keep visioning a happy and positive 2021. And of course, let's pay our respects today for those who sacrificed their lives in the name of freedom for all. And I look forward to speaking to you again tonight whilst we have a chat with Maria Costa. Rachel saying, oh, late night for me, then I'll get a bottle in. Yes, join us tomorrow from 9 o'clock for that, Rachel. It'd be great to have your company. You sound like you might be a bit of a giggle to have involved with these things, so look forward to your company tomorrow night. Maria Costa this evening. We're on again tomorrow in the morning, of course. Good Morning Portugal every morning at 9 a.m. And yes, just to mention, on Friday night we conclude the week with the Expat Man Cave, men behaving badly but in a good way, if that makes sense. So take care. Beijinhos, abraços, te já, te logo. Ciao for now.